Greetings, dear listener, and welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're embarking on a really spectacular journey. We've got this firsthand account of 7 days traversing Iceland, a land of stark contrasts and just breathtaking beauty.
Hmm.
Our mission isn't just to recap a travel story, but really to pull out the key insights, help you grasp the essence of this place, often called fire and ice.
Right.
And maybe more specifically, we want to explore how such a powerful sort of elemental landscape shapes not just the environment, but the actual character, the resourcefulness, and the daily life of the people living there.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here is seeing how just 1 week can show you so much immense geological power, but also this unique cultural fabric that's clearly shaped by it.
Exactly.
It gives us a fantastic way to understand not just the landscapes, which are dramatic, obviously, but how humans actually adapt and, well, thrive in an environment where nature is so clearly in charge.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, so let's unpack this incredible 7-day adventure, starting right at the beginning, the arrival.
Mm.
Picture landing at Keflavik.
Mm.
And immediately you're just greeted by this surreal, almost otherworldly landscape. Ancient lava fields just stretching for miles, and they're covered in this thick, vibrant green moss. It's more than just setting a tone. It's like this profound first hit of raw geological history.
Absolutely. You feel it straight away.
So our traveler, smart move, picked up a Dacia Duster, apparently. That's the car for those Icelandic gravel roads.
Yeah, you see a lot of those. Pretty practical.
And headed straight for Reykjavik. Now, beyond the airport's lava fields, what was the first impression of the capital itself?
Well, Reykjavik, even though it's vibrant and colorful, it's surprisingly compact, really walkable.
Okay.
And this traveler noticed right away the unique architecture of Hallgrímskirkja Church. It's almost a brutalist, that massive raw concrete look.
Right. Very distinct.
But the interesting thing is it's actually designed to mimic Iceland's natural basalt columns. So that connection between human design and natural forms, it's not just a one-off architectural thing. It's a theme you see again and again, sort of a subconscious nod to the earth it's built on.
Wow, that's fascinating. And from the top of the church, that view, brightly colored rooftops, the ocean, mountains in the distance,
Yeah.
sounds absolutely stunning.
Yeah, the pictures look incredible.
And of course, you apparently can't go to Iceland without trying one of those famous hot dogs, the Jarins Biz 2 Pilser.
Ah, yes, the hot dog stand.
It's not just any hot dog, right? It's this mix of lamb, beef, and pork with crispy onions, remoulade. Sounds like a real proper culinary experience, totally defying expectations for, well, a hot dog.
It really does. And beyond just how it tastes, the fact that the simple hot dog is so incredibly popular, so widespread, I think it points to something about the Icelandic character.
Oh, like what?
Well, maybe a kind of pragmatism, valuing simple, accessible comforts, resourcefulness. I mean, in a country with challenging weather, limited resources sometimes. Right.
A satisfying cheap meal becomes more than just food. It's almost a cultural touchstone, a necessary bit of comfort against that dramatic, sometimes harsh environment.
That makes sense.
And as the traveler walked down Laugavegir, the main shopping street, they noticed this very relaxed local vibe. People were friendly, but maybe not overly effusive. A sort of quiet confidence.
That's interesting. So you're suggesting this isn't just like how people are, but maybe it's linked to the environment, like a survival trait.
I think you could argue that, yeah. This calm, self-assured thing, it's maybe not just temperament, but a kind of deep-seated cultural adaptation. Almost a necessary stoicism, maybe, forged by generations living with these unpredictable, powerful natural forces. Being overly dramatic might just be inefficient or even risky in some situations. It's just a real respect for their environment, born from necessity, fostering this quiet resilience. That's a really powerful thought. Okay, so day 2. This plunges us right into the Golden Circle, Iceland's most famous tourist route, first stop. Hringingvellir National Park. And this is where the geology gets really, really interesting.
Oh, absolutely. You are literally walking between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates there.
Wow.
It's not a metaphor. You can see it. It's the Mid-Atlantic Ridge running right through Iceland. These two massive plates are pulling apart actively by about, 2 centimeters a year?
You can actually see the gap?
You can see the Rift Valley, yeah. The scale of it is immense. And then you add the history.
Yeah.
This was the site of Iceland's first parliament, the Althing. way back in 930 AD.
930 AD.
So you have this incredible convergence of geological time and human history all in one spot. You can almost feel the weight of centuries there right under your feet.
Puts a whole new spin on groundbreaking history, doesn't it?
Okay.
From there, it was on to the geyser geothermal area, watching Strokir erupt every few minutes, shooting boiling water way up high.
It's quite a sight.
The traveler mentioned the smell, that strong smell of sulfur. What's that telling us?
Right, that sulfur smell. It's not just vague volcanic activity. It's specifically hydrogen sulfide gas coming from the vents.
Okay.
It tells you there's intense heat, magmatic heat, really close to the surface. And that heat, the same heat you can smell, is what powers so much of Iceland's renewable energy. Heating homes, electricity. It's a direct sensory link to the Earth's engine room.
Incredible. And then Gullfoss. The golden waterfall.
Yeah.
The sheer volume of water, glacial meltwater, creating rainbows in the mist, just underscores that raw, untamed power of nature you see everywhere in Iceland. Truly humbling.
It really is awe-inspiring. And hey, a practical tip for you, listener. Our traveler mentioned grabbing snacks from a bonus supermarket. Apparently those yellow bags are everywhere and a good way to save some money.
Good tip. Bonus bags. It shows how quickly you adapt, right? Were there any other little observations like that about daily life?
Yeah, a couple of things. Like, the homes are incredibly warm inside because of all the geothermal heating. A real contrast to the often cold, windy outside.
Josie.
And you see a lot of electric cars. Makes sense with all that geothermal power. It's a constant reminder of their commitment to sustainability, not just a travel thing.
Right. Moving south then, along Route 1, the landscape changes again. Dramatic coasts, black sand beaches, huge waterfalls. Seljalandsfoss. This is what you can walk behind, right?
That's the one.
Getting soaked was apparently part of the experience, a real baptism by waterfall.
I suspect that soaking felt less like fun at the time and more memorable afterwards. A proper sensory immersion, let's say.
Fair enough. And just a short walk from there, the hidden one, Glusufrabui, tucked in a canyon.
Yeah, Glacier. It shows that even on the really famous routes, there are these little secret spots if you look for them.
Nice. And then Skogafoss. Just enormous, majestic, different view from the top, apparently, but also where you really feel the wind.
Oh, the wind. Yes, that's another constant in Iceland. You quickly learn why everyone talks about wearing layers. It's not fashion, it's survival.
The highlight, though, seemed to have been Reynisfjordar Black Sand Beach. You describe these basalt columns rising from the sand, powerful waves crashing, the Daiholy Arch in the distance. Sounds incredibly dramatic.
It is. The power of the Atlantic there is just palpable. And there are serious warnings about sneaker waves.
Right, tell us about those. What exactly is a sneaker wave? Why the warnings?
Okay, so a sneaker wave isn't just a big wave. It's an unpredictable, unusually large wave that rushes much further up the beach than the ones just before it. They build up momentum way out at sea, and they can just sweep people off their feet, pull them right out. It's a very real danger. It really highlights that the drama of Iceland's landscape isn't just pretty, it's powerful. Demands respect, demands awareness.
Definitely sounds like it. The air there, though, described as crisp, salty, invigorating, like feeling the planet's pulse.
Exactly, a total sensory experience.
Okay, day 4, moving into ice territory. Driving further east to Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon. Describe this for us.
Right, Jökulsárlón. Imagine this huge lagoon filled with massive icebergs that have broken off a nearby glacier. Some are bright, almost electric blue. Others are streaked with black volcanic ash.
Wow.
And they're just silently drifting towards the sea. It's serene, but also kind of immense. Even saw seals popping their heads up.
Seals, too. And right across the road is Diamond Beach.
Yes, Diamond Beach. It offers this amazing contrast. Smaller chunks of that glacier ice wash up onto the black sand, and they just glisten like diamonds in the sunlight against the dark sand. That combination, the black volcanic sand and the sparkling ice, it's just so uniquely Icelandic. A real visual symphony of fire and ice, or, well, ice and volcanic earth.
Incredible imagery. And the scale of that Jökull Glacier, the big one, visible in the distance, puts it all in perspective. Europe's largest glacier, you said.
That's right. Europe's largest. You can feel its presence, this vast, ancient ice mass shaping the whole area.
And for dinner that night, something traditional.
Yes, traditional Icelandic lamb soup, kjötsúpa, described as really hearty, warming, perfect after being out in the cold and wind.
Sounds delicious. The lamb is supposed to be amazing there, right? Free range?
Incredibly tender, yeah. And that Kjotsupa, it's another example of that Icelandic pragmatism we talked about.
How so?
It's simple, it's nourishing, uses local resources, the lamb, root vegetables, provides comfort and energy in that demanding climate. The food is really tied to the land.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, day 5 sounds intense. An active day. Glacier hiking.
Yeah, a guided hike on Skaftafellsjökull Glacier, which is part of Skaftafell National Park, strapping on crampons, using an ice axe.
Proper gear.
Oh, yeah. Walking across this ancient moving ice, seeing deep crevasses, these incredible blue ice formations. It's like stepping into another world, truly unlike anything else.
Sounds absolutely mind-blowing.
And the traveler mentioned the guide was brilliant, knew so much, explaining the geology, but also pointing out the very real, visible impacts of climate change on the glaciers.
That's important.
It really is, because when you connect that experience to the bigger picture, glacier hiking isn't just an adventure sport. It's a direct encounter with live geological processes.
Right.
And you're seeing the effects of environmental change right there. The scale, the power. It's humbling. Really reminds you of the planet's delicate balance.
And what about the guides themselves, the Icelanders running these tours?
Very professional, very safety conscious, which you absolutely need in that environment. But also, apparently, they had this great dry wit and just a deep, ingrained respect for the land.
Yeah.
It felt like they genuinely live with this dramatic environment, understand it, respect its power, almost like a partnership.
That's a lovely way to put it, partnership with nature. Okay, day 6, heading back towards Reykjavik. A stop at a lesser-known spot, Geothermal Canyon.
Trogriffer, yeah. Stunning place. This winding canyon, river flowing through. A beautiful detour. And a good moment, apparently, to just reflect on the sheer diversity of landscapes they'd seen in just a few days.
That sounds like sensory overload in the best way.
Definitely. And that stop kind of highlights the value of just pulling over sometimes, exploring beyond the main tick list items, finding beauty off the beaten path.
True. And back in Reykjavik, a visit to a public geothermal pool, Sundholmen.
Yes, and this is really key to understanding everyday Icelandic life. These public pools, they're not just for swimming.
No.
No, they're central to the social scene. The hot tubs, the potar as I call them, are where people gather, all ages, chat about the day, politics, whatever, rain or shine. Or snow.
Like a town square, but warmer.
Exactly. It's like their communal living room. It shows this national focus on community, well-being, and just making practical use of those amazing geothermal resources. It fosters this unique shared space.
That's fascinating. It really shows how deep that geothermal aspect runs, not just for energy, but socially too. And to top off the day, a splurge.
Fresh cod.
Pan-fried cod at a seafood restaurant, yes. Being an island, the fish is just incredibly fresh, melts in your mouth, delicious apparently. A pure taste of the ocean, another direct gift from their environment. Sounds perfect. Okay, final day. Day 7. The pilgrimage to the Blue Lagoon.
Ah, the Blue Lagoon, yes.
Touristy, we know. But the traveler found it worthwhile.
They did, yeah. Soaking in those milky blue geothermal waters, surrounded by the black lava fields. Incredibly relaxing. A really good way to unwind before a flight. Plus, the silica mud mask bonus.
Always good for the skin.
Right. But it does raise that question, doesn't it? Balancing the iconic tourist spots with the more local experiences.
Sure.
But the Blue Lagoon, even being so popular, it really does showcase those unique geothermal resources that just define Iceland. It's a powerful symbol, even commercialized, of that natural gift, that heat at the heart of their identity.
Yeah, that makes sense. So driving back to the airport, passing those now familiar mossy lava fields, the traveler felt this deep appreciation for a land of extremes, right? Fire and ice, harsh weather, stunning beauty, a place that demands your attention.
Absolutely.
So pulling all this together, what does it mean for someone thinking about a trip? What's the core takeaway about Iceland's spirit based on this journey?
I think it signifies this inescapable, profound connection to nature. The journey just reveals a people who are incredibly resilient, resourceful, deeply connected to their environment. They've learned not just to survive, but to actually thrive within its dramatic conditions. The food reflects the land and sea, fresh, hearty. And traveling by car, like our traveler did, gives you that amazing freedom to explore. Find those hidden spots. Experience the raw power up close.
Freedom is key there, I imagine.
Definitely. And look, 7 days, it probably feels like just scratching the surface in a place so rich.
For sure.
But it clearly leaves a huge mark, makes you feel viscerally alive, connected to the planet's raw, powerful pulse.
That really was quite the deep dive into Iceland, wasn't it? From Reykjavik's colorful streets to the raw power of the glaciers and those steaming fields. It's clear this island offers something unique, something you won't find anywhere else. What stands out to you, dear listener?
Yeah, this journey really highlights how one place can offer such an incredible range of natural wonders and also these deep cultural insights. It really makes you think, how does such a dramatic environment shape not just the ground, but the actual character, the resilience, the innovation of the people who live there, their
Yeah.
whole way of life?
Indeed. So for you, listening now,
Hmm.
what do you imagine it feels like to walk on a living glacier, maybe seeing those changes happening, or to stand literally between two continents pulling apart, feeling those immense forces? We hope this deep dive leaves you with a real appreciation for Iceland's unique spirit, and maybe, just maybe, a desire to experience its wild, elemental beauty and the remarkable culture it's fostered for yourself.